You know, I didn't want to make a video about this, and I felt like just filming this, I should just film my feet. But, so the Europeans, NATO, bombed all of the Middle East economic affluence anyways. They killed their children, they destroyed their homes, they got no food. In 17 years, they're screwed. So all the Muslims, all those refugees, they came and they went to Germany. Now, if they had stopped within the boundaries of the Ottoman Empire, because if your empire can't deal with a war on every single border simultaneously, your empire's too big and you're not in your own hemisphere. And obviously, it's barely not your empire. And so since it's blasphemy for Muslims to live in other people's empires, they should go back to their own, most notably the Balkans. If they had stopped in the Balkans, they all would have starved to death because there was no food there. They prevented themselves from starving to death by going to Germany and France and Sweden, where they got the food. Now, obviously, they're going to have problems in those countries because those are rape capitals of the world, where they butt-fuck people and then put their shitty dicks in girls' mouths, and the girls act like they like it because they're stupid, arrogant whores. So they're going to want to get out of that land because they're already being terribly mistreated, and they're not having any issues resolved while they're there in the first place. So, plausibly, you can say that if they all went back peaceably, England might just get torn. France and Germany might just be torn right off the mainland, and we can have a Ragnarok and just kill off those arrogant pieces of shit. And if people were to feed them as they went, well, maybe their children will have a fighting chance. But regardless, it's summer now. And so all those Muslims should go back to the Ottoman Empire and start growing food. If the Christians aren't going to feed you, the Christians are worthless pieces of shit, and that's how it's going to be. But either way, even if they were going to feed and house you, the Muslims have no right or excuse to stay there in the first place. And so as controversial as it gets, you go back to the Ottoman Empire in the Balkans, where the land is fertile because it's close. It's even within traveling distance now. It's almost like you just should be there because it's summertime. You just go back to having Sharia law, and you kill all the assholes that would plausibly be killing atheists in Europe right now. It's simple. Obviously, killing atheists in Sharia law means killing anyone that pays their bridal fee with money, as opposed to with their own might and affluence, and anyone that has wives, multiple wives, as in wives, when there are other people that don't have wives that deserve them. You're obviously an adulterer if you have more than one wife when there are Muslims in your own community that don't have wives. So if they go and they butcher all the atheists among them, but not the Balkans because they have no right to judge people, right? You have Sharia law among your own caste. You get the fuck out of Europe because Europe's a goddamn fucking shithole. And if the Europeans feed you, well then God will save their children, because even if God's going to condemn an entire society to hell for all of eternity because he hates every single last person in it for being there, he's not going to destroy it so long as there's a single faithful person there. So if the Christians feed them, well, they're going to give their children a fighting chance. And if the Christians don't have the goddamn fucking wit to feed the Muslims, well, the Muslims leave because the Muslims have no right to be there, well then, might as well just tear the whole fucking coast off and make the Ottoman Empire and Bohemia the Atlantic coast. That's probably what will happen, and that's what should happen. I don't mean God should kill those people, that's just what the Muslims should do. It's summer. Go grow your own fucking crops.